will this show be? I'm obviously not saying I don't want Spider-Man to show up in the show. Obviously, Spider-Man is not going to be in the show. I don't want him to be in the show. But will
this and
you
then
be
Punisher and then
Yeah,
Spider-Man, Punisher, and yeah.
but will you be disappointed if there's zero connection to the Spider-Man movie at all? Because
At this
like
point, honestly, a little bit.
because we're in
It's
like
just
what
crazy.
we're at the almost the end of phase 5 now. You know what I mean? Like phase 1, it was okay to kind of keep everything themselves, but now we're so deep into this universe to where if Kingpin is like making all this mess in New York and like martial law and all that stuff, and Spider-Man is there, no one knows who he is. There should be some connect because this is a whole connected universe we've been living in. So I feel I'll be
I'm
disappointed if
with
there's
you.
not like the hand is supposed to be in Spider-Man, right? So maybe we get like
Yeah.
a hand tease and Daredevil to kind of connect it. I don't want some kind of connective tissue.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean-
you got Daredevil and then Punisher the week after the finale of Daredevil, and then Spider-Man comes out a couple months where the Punisher is in Spider-Man. So, and then the
Right.
Hand from the Daredevil universe is also in Spider-Man, and he
So there
also
has
lives in
to-
New York,
yeah, there
where
has to be
Kingpin is
something.
mayor, or he's going to lose his mayorship. And why do you have the Defenders grouping up after season 2 if Kingpin is gone as mayor? So there's another threat going on in New York. The Defenders are clearly gathering. We got like leaked photos or something, confirmation that
Yeah.
Luke Cage and Iron Fist are coming back for season 3. And it's like, there's way too many dots connecting. I really need some Daredevil stuff bleeding into the Spider-Man thing. And they said that a long time ago. I remember they said that maybe 3 years ago ish, when they're like, we are going to build to a grounded Thanos climactic thing. Like there was at least rumblings of that, and that seems to be what's happening here. Spider-Man being the culmination film for the grounded. I don't know, season 3 of Daredevil. Regardless, it seems like it's connecting.
But you want that, right, Andy? What do you think?
The issue is where does it sit in the MCU timeline? Because I was just having a look up now to see on the Disney Plus app the complete timeline where these shows fit in with things like Thunderbolts, where obviously the things are there because we know that obviously what's her face, Allegra De Fontaine has taken Vanessa, whatever, I can't remember her name now.
Valentina. Just call her Val.
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 She's taken over, obviously, the Avengers Tower. She owns that now, or the CIA or whatever Black Ops thing she worked for. All owns that. And you've obviously got the Thunderbolts, and it's that whole thing of how can you have such. We talked about it before as well. How can you have such massive threats going on in New York and not have like the Thunderbolts or the Avengers or
Same city.
Captain America or Spider-Man jump in and be helping out with these threats? It's that weird thing there where you have such a connected universe that's so far down the line. Early on, you can justify, like in the Iron Man or Captain America films,
Right.
their own contained threat that's maybe threatening the USA or the world, but they're the ones that deal with it. But now you're like 12 years or whatever, 18 years, whatever we are into this universe, and you've got to have crossover threats where these things happen. Obviously, we know the whole rights with Spider-Man that can't appear in TV shows, but when I was looking at the timeline, because I was like, because we talked, I think, about before about the situation with like the lockdown in New York and the curfew. Did that roll over into like Thunderbolts? Where has that affected the timeline?
Right.
So it says here that at least season 1 of Daredevil Born Again takes place before Captain America, which takes place before Thunderbolts. So,
But season 2 is supposed to take place after Thunderbolts.
Well, that's
what I thought.
I've never seen that. I've never. Oh, I mean, they might have said it to people, but I've never seen that written anywhere. For season 2, so it is a bit like, because otherwise, what was going on in Thunderbolts surely would have been affected by like the curfew and everything that was going on in New York at the time, and there would have been there should have been at least mention of it.
It would make sense if it was in between season 1 and season 2, or potentially.
I mean, but it's a bit of a, like I said, it's a hard one because where there should be crossing over comments or just something to a remark or something just to comment on it, but there isn't.
I agree.
It's going to be
clear.
Yeah. So season 2 we know is a few months after season 1. So where does that now fit into the timeline? Is it still before Captain America? Is it after Thunderbolts? Because we still don't know quickly in succession how much of a gap was between Captain America and Thunderbolts either. So It's all a bit like the timeline's a bit muddled right now, especially as you said. That's the next issue is that we go into the Punisher special, which shows what he did between season 1 of Daredevil and Spider-Man, and then you roll into Spider-Man, and then we roll into Doomsday. And so, how can you have season 3 of Born Again next year when Doomsday
After
happens,
Doomsday.
after Doomsday? So it's kind of like there is a bit of muddling of the timeline going on right now, and that needs a bit of clarity, I think, because otherwise it does have we do sit here and question this more, going, why is this not affecting this? Why have they not mentioned this? Why has that not happened? When it all seems, because they're coming out so close together in the real world for us to watch them, and we're then putting that logic into going, well, okay, they must be close together in the MC timeline, and it turns out they're like a year apart.
Right. This is AI. AI says AI agrees with JD. AI says it's Daredevil Born Again season 1, Captain America, Thunderbolts, and then Daredevil Born Again season 2 is the start of phase 6. I don't know if that's correct or not.
That's that faulty AI detail.
Yeah, but it does
all
say
the time. It's weird.
Season 2 is after Thunderbolts. That's what it says. So it's gathering things off the internet.
And I would say if Val would only be sending Matthew Lillard to this situation to try to fix it, then it's too low for her to send the new Avengers, the Thunderbolts.
Right.
That's just trying to like make sense out of it. So, but now that Kingpin did what he did, that's kind of why I would ask, like, maybe now he goes back to Val, and then because maybe couldn't you see at least one, like a Yelena show up?
I could see Val. I could see Val showing up.
I could see Val showing up for sure.
Not the new Avengers, because they technically own Val's ass at the end of the film. Because, like,
good point.
She obviously does the press conference and announces them as the new Avengers, but because of all the shit that she's done throughout that film, they're like, and they've got all that information on her, they're like, we own you now. So, yeah, we'll accept this because we've got the Avengers Tower and we get all the financial backing to do this. But at the end of the day, we're not here to serve your criminal purposes. So, like, Val's probably having to go different routes to do it. So I don't expect, wouldn't expect her to send any of them, because they'd just be like, I'm not going down to Red Hook to like strong arm some people for you on or Fisk. So I just don't see them doing that, to be honest.
And now that also begs the question, so if this culminates in Spider-Man, which would be massive, how can you not have a Thunderbolt in there in Spider-Man? Because that's obviously going to be the most climactic of whatever's going on in New York. It's in New York.
We can't add any more characters.
I know, that's what I'm saying though. But now it's like we can complain about it for Daredevil, but then that means we got to complain more if they're not in freaking Spider-Man.
I know.
They're probably like the Spider-Man, Punisher, and Hulk. I'm sure they can handle it.
Maybe Hulk's in the movie because they need an antithesis to Sentry.
There should be like a separate Thunderbolt scene in the movie where it explains it, like a scene they film separately or something. Well,
it's just like when you see in the Spider-Man trailer, you see like Punisher and Spider-Man battling it out, but they're doing the military convoy, fighting military convoys together. They should just have it swing past Avengers Tower, and it's just got like Wyatt's just looking out the window, just be like, what the fuck is he up to now? And just sipping a cup of tea.
That would be perfect.
And he's like, Bob, go and make some lunch, for God's sake. And just like, that's it.
Yeah, that would work. I'm okay with that.
That wouldn't be bad. There's also, they talked about doing like the whole World War Hulk thing. Like, I don't know if it was supposed to be in Spider-Man or building up to it. Let's say if that's true, Sentry versus Hulk was a huge part of World War Hulk. Sentry being in Spider-Man, as we just discussed, makes sense. He kind of probably should pop up, even if it is just for the cup of tea. But Sentry versus Hulk, I mean, whether that's realistic or not is something I really, really do want to see. Except the MCU Sentry is so different from comic Sentry, because in the comics, he doesn't just turn people into shadows. And if he could just turn Hulk into a shadow, that sucks.
That'd be pretty easy.